Adobe Draw app. So first you open up and it shows you these projects. If you press the bottom right corner button down here, you can have multiple different projects going at once. So basically you can make multiple different digital images for one project. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new project here. So here's the open screen. There's these buttons on the sides, which are your paint opacity. You basically drag out to change. The color, you can drag that out um, to get your eyedropper out if you wanted to specify what color and use that again. The size, drag it around to change the size. If you click color, here you have your color wheel. You can choose a color there. If you click this button up here, it gives you different color themes. So let's look at compound colors. And then if you like this color theme, you can press this plus button, and that'll save it to the library. Click the library up here. You now then have these are a couple other color themes I've saved, but this first one here was the theme we just created. Also, if you click themes in the middle, there are already pre-made themes that you can choose from and use. Down here, these little toggles, they allow you to, well, let me go back for a second. Although you have these 5 different options and they're preset on colors, you can change each one. So that way you could have 5 different brush strokes and maintain those 5 brush strokes and colors throughout your whole image. So you can change the roundness, angle. I like the taper. Down here is the velocity, right in the middle, and pressure size. Go ahead and turn that off. Turn velocity off. The angle doesn't matter that much. Okay, so that's what you can do there. Very nice brush stroke. So basically, you just come in here, and I'm going to go to my library and pick from these colors. I'm going to start creating a design here. Quickly. And maybe I'll do this one. And then this one. See? And then over here, you have the layers. So here's my layer. This is the draw layer. You can change the opacity. I'm going to make it right at 50. And then you can transform it. Say you wanted to flip it horizontally or fit to view. You can also duplicate it. So now there's a second one. And then delete it. You can merge down two drawings to make them as one. I'm not going to do that though. And then this eyeball in the top corner allows you to see and unsee. If you've ever played with Adobe Illustrator, you'll be familiar with this. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to transform this one, maybe not vertically, maybe horizontally. So now I have this kind of symmetric image. Okay, so now let's add a layer. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and merge these 2 layers. So now that's one layer. You can't really go back and separate them unless you just press undo, which is up here. Also, to undo something, I'm going to redo it now. To undo something, you can swipe 2 fingers to the left. Here, let's go ahead and look at those. So if you go to this gear up here, you can press View All Gestures, and it shows you all the gestures. So 2 fingers to the left is undo, 2 fingers to the right is redo. Zooming is pinching in and out. Moving the image around, you touch with 2 fingers and move it. Eyedropper, like I said, you touch the color, drag it outwards. Fill in an enclosed area, so if you draw a shape and then you hold inside of the shape, it'll fill in with the color you've selected. To erase a enclosed area, basically you draw a circle around it, then you have to press that color and it'll be erased. Custom default brush, that's when you hold down on the brush and you can change the brush size. Stamp shape, double tap inside the shape. Resize stamp, rotate shape. So maybe I'll show you the stamps now. So if you go up here and click these little shapes, you get stamps. So I'm going to do, I like the people at the bottom. I'm going to do this male figure. So there he is. He's inserted right into my draw layer. I'm going to make him a little bigger. And then you hold down in the center to finalize him. And at that point, there's another one, and you can let's make him a little bit smaller. Like he's in the distance a little. Then you finalize that one. And then to stop with the shape, you press the X. So now maybe we'll add one more. Let's do the female. She's going to be down here. And you can also, let's see, my library. So those are the stamps. Now here, if you press add a layer, also at any time, this little stack right here will make the layers appear or disappear if you're trying to work in that area. Okay, so now if you press the plus sign, we can add a layer. Now I'm going to add an image layer. So if you click image layer, it gives you all these options. So a photo that's already on your iPad, you can take a photo. You can get a file from your Creative Cloud. You can get one from the market, which there's just a bunch of stock images, or Adobe Stock, a bunch more stock images. So I'm going to go ahead and get one from on my iPad. And let's just look through here. Let's do this one. So it's just a photo of a piece of art. Okay. Let's go back to this. This image layer did not work for me the first time. There is a, I'm going to delete it. There's kind of a glitch. So sometimes when you add an image, generally, I just erased some stuff. I'm swiping sideways to undo. Generally, when you add an image, say, let's take a photo. I'm going to do it of my ottoman here. So press use image. See how this orange bar pops up on the top? Well, sometimes that doesn't pop up. And that leaves you able to resize and rotate this image, but you can't close out of it, basically. So what I did is restart the app, go back onto my project, and just start again. So here's my image. I'm going to go ahead and you can kind of turn it, make it pretty big. And then I will go in here and decrease the opacity. Okay, so another thing I want to do, I'm going to duplicate this, and on this one, I'm going to flip it just like I did before, horizontally. Okay, so now I want this layer. If you click and hold, you can drag the layer upwards. So now it's in front. Oops. Keep erasing on accident. I just undid because I swiped sideways. There we go. Okay. So now all of my, if you double click any layer, it'll disappear. But I just really kind of want to move this to the center. So let's see if I can move that. And let's go ahead and these are duplicated. I'm going to try and get the opacity better on this. That might be a little better. I'm going to go ahead and, oh, I guess you can't merge two photos, so that's what this is telling me. Okay. I kind of just want this to be centered. Oh well. There we go. Whoops. Just takes some working with. Whatever. Sunny, stop. So here's my image so far. Now, my idea is that students can come in if they see something of inspiration. Um, they could come in. Well, this is a beautiful image of a cactus here. If I just look at cactus, something of inspiration that contributes to their meaning. They can take a photo or use this photo that they've found. And let's go ahead and click on this one. So if you press Save Preview to my library, there it is. It opens it up for you. So I'm going to make it a little bigger here. Press Done. I'm going to make it a little bit more opaque. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to flip it downwards this time. So there's just a lot of different layers and things going on here. Done. Okay. So the purpose of this is you can add all these different layers, take photos, draw on the layers, draw into them, make them transparent. And any of these layers that you create, you can then, the share button up here, you can upload it to your Illustrator or Photoshop. You can also just send them to your Creative Cloud. But the idea is that this is a super easy way for kids to take photos and alter some kind of inspiration on the go with their iPads or smartphones. Whoops. And then upload them for a bigger project that we might be doing, similar to what's in my unit plan. So after that, you can just press close and it will save your project.